So. Favorite time.
Okay,
Short, sweet, and to the point.
I am not upset with that.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Committee Board 11, Public Safety and Transportation Committee. It is October 12. We are starting at 6:41. We have quorum. Shout out to Housing. Housing had quorum this year, right? This month, right? Yes, we did. Okay.
All right.
So we'll have to make fun of someone else's quorum. And mind you, we barely got quorum. Wanda, thank you for coming. Otherwise.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you all for
I thought
coming.
you
I
were gonna be like-
appreciate you.
Wow. We should give her a Samuel.
You wanna do the honors?
Sure, no problem. Okay, so for ground rules, number one, no one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. Also be mindful that this owl, if it's right, very sensitive, it'll go all over the room. And if you do want to look at the people that are here, look at the camera and make sure your voice projects to the microphone itself as well. One recognized, all such remarks for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics will be made on the record. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topics of the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized.
Well, to order. Yeah, are you ready?
Did that say no crosstalk in there somewhere?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Get to be,
I just wanted to make sure I did.
I mean, we have I mean, it just doesn't want things to be on order, but we don't, we're not as strict with that, because everyone here is very, mindful of everyone, so usually it's not an issue. All right, so let's do the roll call then.
Okay, so as I said before, we have 11 members on this committee, and 6 are needed for quorum. Jose Altamirano,
Present.
Stephanie Arroyo,
Here,
Anthony Brown,
Here.
Kenneth Crouch,
Present.
Carlos Diaz, Wanda Hopkins,
present.
Sage Mason is excused, Claudia Perez,
Yeah,
Don Sanders is excused, Loretta So said that she would be in, but we're not seeing her right now. Michelle Wilshire Clement,
I am present.
thank you. We have quorum, Chair.
You. All right, we're gonna adopt as agenda
Yes, adoption of the October 2023 agenda
by
on the committee.
ready.
Yeah, everybody's received the agenda
Should
already.
we do it by, what's that called when someone, no one says, no?
Oh, yes, if there are no objections or
No
abstentions,
objection.
okay.
Adoption of September's minutes. Any objections, abstentions, beautiful. This is a nice thing about meeting in person, just like the votes are much faster. You don't have to be like, you gotta.
gotcha.
Yeah, it's like, you just raise your hand or. Anyone have any announcements? Yeah, anything?
Oh, Xavier just notified us that Carlos is at the Metropolitan Cab
Oh,
as
he's
our
at the
CB11 representative.
I know he's still absent.
Yes, he didn't notify us. Okay, thank you, Xavier.
No, all right, well, excuse him. It doesn't make a difference, excuse or absence, but it's still the same.
Okay, I'll mark it as excuse. Yeah.
Well, no, he's on the cab. He has to be there. It's technically, he is technically on board business because he is our board representative on the cab. Technically that absence.
But isn't that done a conflict for him maybe? The cow only needs the same.
Maybe we'll have to figure that out. Sometimes he's on. All right. I'll speak Xavier's on. And let's go forward then. No,
You have no announcements?
I don't think the precincts are here because of all the craziness that's happening. They already sent their apologies, but obviously there's a very heightened sense of alert in the city to any terrorists. We don't know what's gonna happen. Obviously, all the instability that's happening in Palestine is unfortunate, but they are at a very heightened sense of security right now. So everyone is being dispatched to different places. Ooh, what's after announcements?
Informational updates, which you would receive from our agency liaisons, but as you said,
They're not here, but we do have Rafael here, so.
Rafael is saying he has a problem with his microphone.
Oh.
So Rafael, if you can hear us, you might have to, your Zoom might need to update or your computer might need to update. And if they're,
Trying to step out and then.
yeah, try to log out and log back in. If you didn't update your system, then it might not be able to access your camera or your microphone.
Try booting him, and that way he's forced to come back in. He may not even be able to hear you.
Okay,
Let's-
Rafael.
Let's kick him out on purpose.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Which things do we get,
325,
and then
PSA 5.
PSA 5.
Typically, they're not very good. I'm gonna work on meeting their captain to see if we should be receiving information, but they are almost never here.
Mhm.
For the 2-3 and 2-5.
That's it, 2, 3, 2, 5?
That's the increase.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
Not,
Just 2.
up to
So
50.
no other PSA? Just the PSA?
Just PSA.
Yeah, the PSA, okay.
We would get from the task force on 125th Street, but that's being rearranged, so. Did we kick him out?
I did kick him out. Let me see if I can message him.
Come back.
Must be like satisfying just to pick him out.
I like Rafael a lot. It's his agency, I just like. Oh, well, I'll tell you all I did. Tell me I can't get my way.
They call.
Yeah. When did Diana's office? Hey. Look, girl. They seem never even scrambling.
Remember you appointed me to the board?
Remember you told me nothing to be done? Alright. It's a 35 million capital project. And she had not been notified.
Whoa, whoa.
Deputy
Where's
Speaker.
Rafael? Like, Anito?
Oh, he's already getting it. Let's move forward.
That's probably why it's not working.
I don't blame you now, Rick. But we getting it done. All right, so let's start with district needs. I think we did the work last month.
We reviewed, we reviewed, I saw that some people
We
had,
wanted to add the pier for sure.
that was added in capital and,
Great.
so for now, it would just be to finalize, go through the, requests
And I think we
and.
were gonna specify something with the precincts, not just leave it so big.
Right.
Yes, I'm writing it down so that
I don't know if we got anything.
I think that's the one. Give me 1 second.
Leave it open it?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
You know the button, right?
It's somewhere here.
Yeah, it's a tiny black button above my desk. You'll see it. That white intercom that's by the phone.
Where is it?
Look to your right by my phone, and then on the wall, that white intercom, the black buzzer. There you go.
I closed the door, sorry.
You
I closed the door.
We prefer to have it closed
Oh, okay.
for safety reasons.
Not as good as you. We gotta get in there.
this is the 2-5.
Right. So let's bring that up. I'm sure everybody would love having a 1 hour meeting and see if we can make that record. So we went over these one by one already.
Yes, so, I hope that you guys put it down. Your notes, if possible. There were some notes from the staff that you can consider, but for you all, it's to finalize your notes in terms of keep, revise, remove, and give it a committee recommended ranking, and then finalize your decision after we review both capital and expense. So there are 2 capital requests and 4 expense requests, so it should be pretty quickly to go through. So
Can I-
for,
Someone's calling me?
Right?
Yes, I'm pulling it down.
That's the spot he is there. Baby making music.
You said 2 capital and how many?
there are 2 capital requests and I 4 expenses?
Four
Yes,
expenses.
4
Ah,
expenses.
that's you.
Okay, so for the, I was given the floor.
Okay,
For the 2-5 precinct specifics, we wanted specifics, right? So I went and I asked a few of the officers and took some pictures. They were talking about the 1970 building and how it's extremely outdated. And things, simple things like a keypad. I mean, they're not all big things, but they add up. And,
Keypad to do what?
a keypad that is, when you walk in, there's a lobby. And there's no keypad that goes to the elevator, like outside of, and so it's a security breach, and a person went in and went into the CEO's office and.
Yeah, the skills office is right there.
It's right there, and he was just like, and she just went and started complaining and,
All right, so
whatever.
then we'll do
And
that.
so, I mean, it's like small, it's updates that just add up because.
just put it there. Put it there for the 2.5.
So-
Keypad entrance.
You mean for this request here?
Yeah, you see how it's very broad? We wanted to make it a
We wanted
little
to have
more
specific.
specific, because they're never gonna give us that. Just do the whole building, add parking.
Right, so,
So that's why we have asked for specifics.
okay, so what specifically are you?
They're also.
Um,
They use their park.
A locking mechanism on the front door of the lobby going towards the elevator and the CO's office.
Keypad you want.
Well, it's a
Keypad entrance.
keypad or locking mechanism.
It has a locking mechanism, someone left it open.
For front door to main lobby area of,
No, no, no.
Update.
They don't have. there's not-
Update entrance
Right.
to the precinct offices, that's what it is. Because on the right, as you see,
security measures for the entrance.
update security measures to
Hmm.
entrance.
I like that one.
Well, they actually just want a keypad specific.
Particularly keypad.
Well, I mean, they also have to see what they have enough funding for, right? So-
Keypad.
Keypad shouldn't be too bad, but that's like the security breach.
So then, like with capital requests, those are like for large scale, projects. If it's like providing them with a new keypad, they'll probably just say that they'll do whatever's in their budget to accommodate for that. So I would maybe consider like,
And
Broader.
But they don't,
And-
hold on, but they don't have a keypad,
they don't have one.
so then they would have to have a whole new system.
right, so that
Update
might be like a
security
cap, right, update, like, you
Yeah, we'll
know,
do it, we'll do it broad
Yeah,
right, so provide,
to the entrance, beautiful.
okay. So
the
provide,
entrance and also the interior so that there's no access. Also, also photos.
I don't know.
Also the area for making things accessible to all.
I don't know what that means.
There's no ramp for them there.
There is-
Sorry.
There is a ramp, however, it has very much broken up cement.
Hmm.
So if you're in a wheelchair and you're trying to go, or even.
ADA entrance.
It's
Where?
same the 2.5.
2.5.
Same 2.5?
Same the 2.5. So I would think that it just needs to be
That's a cap.
repaved.
So ADA accessibility, okay.
They have the ramp, it just needs to be,
It's there, it just
it
needs.
needs to be.
Updated.
Redone.
Renovated.
Renovated,
So you think-
renovate, ADA, renovate entrance for,
Should this be a new request altogether?
no, put
No,
it in
no,
there,
no, no,
put it in there. We'll make it as complicated as possible.
Okay. Security measures.
Security measures,
no.
you did great. Move ADA.
You could say, make it
Is that-
ADA compliant.
That's, thank you. Thank you.
That's good there. That kitchen,
Yeah, the kitchen is nice, but I didn't see the kitchen itself, so I couldn't really.
Pretty much what
I've seen the kitchen, it's nice.
I haven't seen, but what is it?
The left is a medium. room. It's not much.
Oh, that's a kitchen?
Never seen it.
Oh, that's not a kitchen? Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look like.
An update for the kitchen.
Kitchen?
No.
So it's just,
So,
so
we're
it's just
fine
fine.
with doing our budget.
Well, now we're adding,
That we started last month, and now we're finalizing. Then we're gonna kind of run through them. This is something we do every year. These are capital projects, things that we're requesting for the community. And while it's a tiresome process, over the years, in the long term, it does give you results. And we do get some of these things done. Parks has had a lot of amazing accomplishment, and we've had a lot of great things come out of this.
Well, that was the first thing that they spoke about was the kitchen.
And
And I-
kitchen.
So I haven't seen it.
That's a big price.
So I was just gonna say, I can see us putting in one request for entrance and ADA compliant, because it's all in one
Right.
area of the building.
No, it's
But
not.
So the entrance, the ADA compliant is not gonna be in the entrance of the building?
ADA is on the side of the
Yes,
building.
So but it's part of the entrance of the building, right?
It's part of the entrances, but not,
It's not the main entrance, it's
Not the
a
main
side entrance.
it's a
is what you're
side
saying?
entrance.
Oh,
The main
okay,
entrance is steps.
okay, that could work for Halloween.
So I'm just saying, now we're gonna include a kitchen, which is a whole different part of the precinct, right? And in my mind, when we're talking about capital projects, they usually only do it like section for section, right? I don't know, I don't do construction, guys, I don't know, help me out here. But I just don't think that they're gonna do this, and this. I feel like they're gonna try to break it up into 3 different requests. Or say, okay, we'll do the entrances and allocate that, and then that has to be a separate request. That's just my
Actually,
understanding.
I agree with you. I feel like, especially given that an entrance is like, it's part of, it also gets the community, how the precinct interfaces with everybody. I think that seems like a different request than like a kitchen or something internal behind, say, the business like that.
Yeah.
I can
That's
see
fair.
what you're saying, I'm just saying that this is what was
They were
brought.
asked.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
We can make that separate, but
Wanna
then
make it separate?
Yeah, let's make it separate.
I mean, I just didn't mention it at first because.
You have anything for the super?
I was very close to the 2-3 because.
You're
Well,
gonna
because,
say that we're playing favorites.
I know, well,
Sorry.
the thing is, I've gone to the
He
2-3.
hasn't been here either, he's been busy.
So what's the specific request now for? this event?
Funding to remodel kitchen for precinct.
The 25th precinct?
Yes, 2-5.
What does the 23, what does the 23?
No, because they haven't been, given without the new person. It's been a rough transition.
Rivera, right?
It's been a rough transition. He hasn't been here yet,
He's from over there.
something like that. So it's kind of hard to know what they need.
And I don't have any of their numbers. Like, I have the numbers.
We'll figure it out, but at this point,
I'll call
then
them.
we're gonna move on.
I'll call them.
Part of their responsibility is to be here. And you've missed already like 3 meetings on. When did you retire? We were there. In the summer, no? April?
No,
They had the little
March.
get, they had,
March.
yeah, they had to get together.
March,
in
I
March,
mean,
but-
April,
But he
May,
was still here till June.
good, but April, May, June. September, October, 5 meetings. So,
You haven't seen,
now today I understand because behind I learned, but it's just, we'll do better. I'm
Do we
gonna,
have- do we have a liaison on this committee that goes to the 23rd precinct meetings?
usually we try to go, but it's not.
second date.
It's Xavier is right there, so I'm just trying to get. He's done the blocks.
To be honest.
And the blocks to get there, like there's no parking anywhere.
Yeah, no.
There's like courthouse. or-
No, it's in the
After-
evening.
It's in the evening.
Yeah, but it's like, fine.
Oh,
Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah, we're there, let's move forward. Allocate 20 million. Okay, yes, beautiful. Restoration Pier 107.
The development restoration of here, anything else that you all want to add to this, or
Can you read it out?
allocate 20 million to accelerate phase 1 of multi-stage redevelopment restoration of Pier 107. Enabling ferry service to and from East Harlem by 2026 before the completion of the overall Esplanade projects.
Could we also add another request after that? For a pier, for them to do some research on the pier for 116.
is Pier 107, is that the one on 102nd Street?
One of those, I guess it was.
What do
I
you
think
think?
it's 102nd.
That's.
Funding
102nd.
Okay.
to, what do you
I
say?
think it's 102nd.
116,
Yeah, it's not one of them.
I think it's pier 107.
Add-
Oh,
Add-
named after that.
That's
Oh,
why I
okay.
was looking like.
Yeah,
kinda
yeah, yeah.
confused.
There's not a-
Wait a
not a
minute.
big
Pier East Harlem?
I'm gonna look it up.
So provide funding.
I'm pretty sure that's where it is.
Information on the 116 here probability. It's 116, right?
Yeah, so it's called pier 107. Oh, this is a different pier. Is that what they call pier 107? Phase 1, Khalid, that information for the phase 1, you sure it's not the. I'm sure it.
What are you looking for? What are you trying to-
107th here,
I thought it was, I don't know if it's 107 or one hundred
I think
and
it's, well,
12. Those are the numbers that are popping in my head, because I remember from those meetings. There is definite renovation, the destruction and reconstruction of one, and people in the meetings were calling for. An additional pier, and I think that one was at 112. I think it's that, like,
So there's a pier
Mhm.
on where the Thomas Jefferson Park is on 111, in between 111 and 112. There's another one on 102nd.
okay, so,
So what are the names of it? Is it 107 pier on 102nd, or is this the 102nd pier, and the one that's on 111 is the 111 pier, or is it?
I see.
There
I don't know the
Okay,
names now.
I'll take a look too. Give me one second.
it looks like there is a pier 107.
Yeah.
The Intercare at 107, and it was to be kept at 107 as opposed to move to 101.
I've never seen a
112.
pier. When we're saying, we're not talking about that. We're not
The
talking,
part that you
This
can
is
put
what it is
built
there.
onto it.
that's what we're talking about? Okay, so that is on 107.
Okay,
That's-
so
That's on
that's the-
107.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
so I'm confusing that with like the weird bridge thing.
Yeah.
That's what we
There's a
advocate
survey done to see if we should move it from 107
to
to
112.
112.
Gotcha.
And it
Also
was
calls
basically
to,
50-50.
right,
And so they decided to keep it at 107,
Yes.
even though there are mounts under the water.
There are mounts on 116,
That would be able to,
which is where I
What
would
would you
really,
say?
really like.
pilots, thank you,
That
Pilot?
a little more.
Pylons are big.
that could support a good pair.
Yeah, you can see it, right, on Google Maps, like the wooden,
Yeah.
the infrastructure is there.
Do you have something that?
But you can move it too.
Oh, yeah, I'm practicing screen, sorry, yeah, for work.
Provide funding to,
Here's the wooden pylons, no.
That's huge.
bring in word that, provide funding to seek feasibility of having a pier. 116 that could connect to the current ferry transportation the city is doing. They have one in Castle Hill. They have a Sound View pier that goes all the way to Midtown. It's beautiful.
Okay,
They're
so,
thinking about it one in South Bronx.
okay,
You know, South Bronx 116 is kind of like.
I see, so to investigate feasibility
Or
for,
having here at 116th Street. Because the pylons are there. I've actually just been there.
You're kidding.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not kidding.
Thank you very much. That water, I don't know, that water, I don't trust that water.
Just go swim in there, yeah, you can ride out.
Yeah, but you're jetting on it, that water is gonna splash on you.
That's the same water. That's the same water that you gotta go. Think of it like,
Go there, you know.
there you go.
And people are gonna wanna find other ways to move around the city.
I need to investigate the
So that is the purpose
here at
of it.
116th Street. Yeah, there 116th Street that connects to the current city funded ferry service. I know that I spoke to Blumenfeld there, they're very interested in that as well, they're willing to help be part of the infrastructure. They can build a ramp that goes over the FDR, that goes directly into the pier. I don't know how that will work out, but they are interested. You know, you figure you start there.
That's the official
Their property.
name, by the way, Central Business District toll.
Okay. I did not know that's the official name, thank you.
Wait, what's the official name?
Central Business District Toll Program. Yeah, anyone that's entering essentially mid-Manhattan, at certain exits, which I can't think of right now, they would be charged a
For the
toll.
congestion.
Yeah, there are commercial rates and there are residential rates, and residents of in the area will receive a subsidy, I think.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, or at least at the end of like the tax year or some sort of like that, I believe, but we have pamphlets and.
That's what they said, but
Right.
at the end of the year, what about the whole year?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually my next question, so has there been a discussion about how that subsidy is delivered? If they're going to be like a concrete resident only parking permit, to like preserve parking for folks that actually live in East Harlem, is
It's one
there?
of our requests already.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that that's.
It's one of our requests, parking permit of,
That's an expense, yes.
because
Okay.
it will be an issue coming up with phase 2, people will come into our neighborhood, park, leave their cars. Go to work,
They're already doing that, yeah.
and they're doing it already, but it'll be worse when they have to pay $20 or whatever it is that they wanna charge.
Okay, great. Any other additional additions or?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so, if you can guys provide a recommended ranking, that'd be great. So top, medium, or high, medium, or low
Precinct
priority.
first, well, we only have three, right?
You have 4 expense requests.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, capital requests, and you'll have
Wait,
4
we have
expense.
4 capital
Yeah,
requests?
you have 4 capital requests now because you just added
We had a
2.
kitchen.
We need to add,
I don't know, kitchen's a capital. Like, can we remove that?
You can
Can we remove it? It doesn't look right.
it sounds odd,
It sounds odd.
It's not a capital improvement.
Yeah, I wouldn't use the
Say
word
that.
capital.
because that's usually a renovation.
I mean, technically, it is a capital improvement because that's capital work, but I don't see how that. I'm sorry, and this might be wrong, but I don't see how that benefits the community at its whole. That's just my,
I feel that
Meanwhile, the
way.
other request does, but
It's gonna be
entrance,
a school.
making it API compliant, it's
Yeah.
important.
Oh,
Alright, so now we got rank them. Which one number one? Let's do this by
for
hand.
the community meetings.
So for this-
Meetings will be the kitchen.
This first one, you can give it a top, medium, or low. Or give us a.
So we have three. We have the Pier 107, the Pier 116, and the precinct.
I prefer,
Yes, go ahead.
should have the precinct first,
Precinct first, alright.
and that's our.
I think that helps the community significantly because it's the entrance and when you don't need the police until you need the police, you know what I mean? Like, that's when everyone remembers that you need the
That's true.
police. Alright, so we'll do that one.
You want this as high priority?
High priority, yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, you can list all high priority if you want,
Correct.
the youth.
Oh, we
education.
can
Yeah.
go high priority. There you
Is that what you
go.
meant?
No.
Youth education, or something, or just all of those.
Cash in on each, I think, please make sure that we're all on the.
But
same.
remember, they get formally approved at Facebook, on Facebook.
Full board.
Right,
So 107, let's look at that. one.
I feel like 107 is a high priority.
it is.
Because we already have a pier that's there.
Good,
We've
that's
been asking
feasible.
for them to fix this for.
But we're not asking for a peer, we're asking them to, at 116, we're asking them to look into it.
To study it?
Yeah, to study it. So that's why I think it's a high priority, because we want them to look into it.
Yeah,
You know how
so we have
the city works, so it's like,
I
we
agree.
want them to really look into it so that we can, then next year, they come in and say.
Transportation as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a high
that's,
priority.
that's important, yeah, I agree.
so for 116th Street, high priority.
Yeah.
What about the 107th one? I missed one.
Also, so it's
I
already
think
there.
everything's gonna be
Yeah,
high
everything's
priority.
Yeah.
We want it all.
Okay, no problem.
I just wanna add
Sure.
that they have already done research on 107 versus 112.
Correct.
They did
You mean
surveys.
107 versus
Yes.
116.
I haven't done
No,
116.
107 versus 112. They didn't do 116, I don't think.
That's what we're asking for,
That's
116.
what survey, but I was talking, we were just talking about 107, is like.
Yeah, but we already put high priority.
All right, then, forget
5
it.
minutes back.
All right.
Keep up. Focus on your questions, listen to us.
They can put that theater on 116th Street. That would relieve some practice.
116 would be amazing
Yeah.
having that. Also, I think long-term, they wanna put, some housing there, I think it's always been part of their plan.
Okay, so.
And there's a free bus that goes on 100.
You never know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
And
So
116.
that, and it's gonna be like a mecca,
You know,
Right,
but
yeah,
that's-
so that's right there, which is perfect.
Alright, what are we up to now?
We're in expense. So you opted to keep these.
Alright, what are we keeping?
The mayor's provide funding for expansion of the mayor's action.
Yeah, yeah, that was good.
So keep, you wanna keep improved progress.
Resident, see, there's kind of a
Okay,
residential
perfect.
program.
Residential parking permit, keep that,
What's the next one?
utilizing existing resources, MIP.
Youth violence is our biggest issue, so yeah, we definitely keeping that.
You could keep that and have it like one. If you had the numbers.
Should allocate and sort and recruiting. And it's kind of broad, I know.
What's that one?
Yeah, that one. It says allocating accessory toward improving police community relations, increase accountability, vacation. We keep it
I
just
like
because it's on the same message, but.
Well, when I had like specific names of the different
We'll
programs.
try to, what did we have as your staff recommendation? Tell us that.
Revise, well.
No, you have removed.
For the last one, oh, sorry, I was looking at this one.
Oh, you know,
so
I think,
For this one is, the one that we're on, is remove, Angela, I put, this is not a budget request.
Why?
Probably too broad.
It is,
No, wait,
it's broad and then also based off of the response that we received from OMB.
right,
The agency will try to accommodate this issue within its existing resources. So it's whatever the funding, right, whatever funding that they do receive, it's up to the incumbent NYPD to allocate their funds. to
It
accommodate
has
this
been a
request.
very broad ask of ours.
Well, when I spoke to the two, I spoke with the 2-3 and the 2-5 when I wanted that.
Mhm.
And it was like, yay, because of all the youth programs that are being done, and they just, like, actually had like the listing of the youth program
Mhm.
that both precincts do, and it's something that really helps the community, so.
It's not a bad ask.
So maybe, be more specific.
Broad.
Yeah, maybe be more specific, because if you keep this, you're just gonna get this response again next year. We're just gonna keep
Like,
going.
what programs do they brought?
I-
Like they have like a kids academy.
Yeah,
We could ask for something more,
I'll have to I have to find it in. I had sent an email out,
well, this has to be done tonight, so.
I'll look for it now.
Yeah.
All right, then.
No question.
All right.
But the district needs and budget committee meets next week.
You're on that.
You're on that
committee.
committee.
Yeah, you're on my committee.
Well, no, I mean, we're supposed.
But we're supposed to vote on
We
this.
will, we will agree that Michelle will make some language changes to this.
Okay, so
I think that we can do.
To that,
To revise.
that particular one.
So
But that, you know, what we like to do here is that the committee is doing, this work is done in the committee. It's supposed to go to district needs to just basically get rectify everything that we do here gets approved, and then we go to the full board, that's the procedure. But we can give Michelle the time that she needs, so that she can make some language change on.
Which is just to add the names of the youth program that,
We'll take a lot of these wordings off and be like, these are the programs that we want to allocate resources.
Funding.
Right, like if you can get the current amount of funding that they do receive, and then ask that,
And ask for more.
say like, yeah, can you increase it by a couple of $100,000, whatever.
Yep, that's a
I think-
very
or you
specific
can
ask.
use
Good.
And if you
more
can't get it
specific
in
you are,
time,
the
you can
better.
say increase the funding for these, you know.
Mhm.
So that way it's up to them, whatever funding they have, we're asking for an increase. But it's definitely a good call, because as you all know, public safety, our biggest issue is youth crime. Youth violence here, we'll get more into it later, but there, you know, a lot of what the NYPD considers gangs in our tenement buildings. They are using the underage kids to do their shooting, to do what their more violent crimes are, knowing that they are underage and that they'll go in and out. You know, because we've seen situations where, I had a conversation where there was a kid that went, had like 3 shootings in a week and he's in and out, like back in the streets. You know, because of the way the current system is, if you're underage, you see a judge, everything is sealed before them, they only see what's presented, right? He doesn't know that he was in a shooting on a Monday. And on a Wednesday, and now it's Friday. So his determination is still that this is an underage, and obviously we do that to protect our kids, but at the same time, you know, violent individuals are taking advantage of this as a loophole. And now things are not, it's not helping our kids. If anything, it's making them more violent because they know that they can shoot and they won't have any consequences to it. Okay, so let's go forward. Yeah.
Provide your rankings, and then we can ratify. your
How many
request.
are there?
Well,
Did you
there are
divide a
four.
little bit?
There's
Just
4,
four?
there's 4.
Oh. I think. What do we, so guys, we have the mayor's action plan, the map program that started here in Niger Developments. It was excellent. We started in 2 of them, yes. Go ahead.
I just wanted to, because you're talking about NYCHA, right? Okay, that's like my little. couple. When you come to the mayor's program, it works. And the reason it works, you know, is because of the programming and the people who are in that program, right? We do, and this coincides with what we've been asking for as NYCHA leadership. We want those, it previously, before this, it was Mac.
Yeah.
Only Jefferson and Johnson and East Harlem got it. So a lot of this is why Jefferson, not Johnson, Jefferson and Wagner, they have more resources, they have more activity, and they, you understand, it's just, it works. But they were claiming they didn't have the funding to
That's what this
expand it.
request is.
Yeah, so
So we want
this
it
is
in every,
important.
in every.
important, because then it becomes, oh, like a bragging thing. You understand? And that entails a whole nother conversation of why it's like certain kids can't go to other developments and it just trickles down that way.
Oh, you're saying like
But-
that exasperates the
Yeah.
situation where kids are like antagonizing each other. I have this,
Exactly.
you don't have this, like, okay.
Absolutely.
Are you
So,
saying it should be what?
Sharima has Harzell from the DA's office has their hand raised, if you want to recognize. Go ahead, Sharima.
Hello, I don't know who the names of everyone is. The young lady that was just talking just now, I wanted to just speak on a little bit of what you were mentioning about the MAP program. So I am new to Danny, so let me just do a quick intro. I will be calling into you guys' meetings often. My name is Sharima Harvell, best known as Rima. I am the East Harlem Community Engagement Coordinator for the DA's office. I was recently right before I got here, I started in September 11th. But for the last year from June all the way down to August, I was the program manager for the MAP program that serviced East Harlem. So I just have some more information. If I could offer that in this moment, I just would like to about that program as far as the like bragging rights and stuff like that. What I was finding was that I'm not positive of if the youth was saying that back and forth, but what I do know is when I would go out to like the community board meetings at the PSA 5, 25th, 28th precinct, stuff like 23rd precinct, in those spaces, folks would yell out that they wanted the MAP program in their development. However, they didn't know how to go about getting it there, and the fact that that map has more resources, et cetera, et cetera. The reality of it is that that program, what it does is it brings the resources into the community. They tap in, connect with different resources throughout that location area, different people that service that area. But I believe strong-heartedly, any community could do it. And all people that are servicing our community of East Harlem are always looking to go out to like different events, tabling events, stuff like that. So, although it looks more organized in that space, I think if we can attempt to elevate the TA boards and give them some support around some resources and do resource fairs, they can too bring that same thing and energy into the other developments. And the MAP program is currently only in Wagner, Jefferson, and Johnson. And I'm not sure who will get picked next, but the very next picking may be happening in the year of 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you.
Huh?
This is why this is,
mhm.
I said, we look forward to working with you.
Yes, sir. Not a problem. I look forward to working with you guys as well.
Which is why this, I mean, obviously, we see the importance of this program, which is why it's one of our, budget requests. If we want to, our request is actually provide funding for the expansion of the MAP program, neighborhood safe to cover all nitrogen developments. in this.
I think it should
I'm
cover.
so sorry, I just have one question for her. I'm wondering, since she worked in the program, how do they get chosen? Is it NYCHA who chooses them? Is it the DA's office who chooses them? Is it NYPD who chooses
That's
them?
what I want.
So it wasn't with the DA office, it was with the mayor's office. What they did was they did it on stats. So it's the stats that they get back from the police department to show the highest levels of crime. At the time that Wagner got it, it was right before the Chico indictments and all that stuff. So it was a high level of violence that was happening in Wagner. And then when they expanded it to Jefferson and Johnson, they first rolled out a pilot that brought the three developments together through youth groups. And then they put the RFP out to say Jefferson and Johnson because they were having the highest level of crime in those areas. The reason why the MAP program is in the areas they are in is because they identified those areas as high troubled areas that may need extra resources. What I think again is the fact that there's high level of crime in many places, depending on the type of crime that you're mentioning or discussing. However, people do not have access to resources because they're not uplifted to have that in the moment, I think. And that's just my personal opinion. I feel like the TA, you have the tenant association, they can definitely come together as a board and reach out to some services and put things together and bring it in developments as well and use the same model. So I love that you guys are looking for an expansion of this program. It's a good program.
Thank you so much for that. All right, we're gonna read more and then we're gonna move forward.
I digress. Go ahead.
Rima?
Sherry.
Sharima?
Yes.
Can you please give me your,
Give it in the chat. We need your
Yes.
email.
We don't have the
contact information.
all of your contact information, please?
I'll put it in the email right now. Thank you. I mean, the chat right now. And I'm
Thank you.
tuned in and I'm here. I'm present.
Filling in for big shoes, Mark Rose Jr.
The
on
ironic
point.
part about it is that Marco became my initiative manager when I was the program manager for the MAP program, and we kind of switched places. So yeah,
It's a small world, right? All right, now.
You need to
So
finalize your.
so we gotta rank them, I think. You see the importance of the MAP program, I mean, I feel that that should be at our top of our list. Wanna make sure that the committee is, content with that. Are we ranking them high, is that?
Yeah, high, medium, or low. Those are your options.
So that would be a high.
Hi.
Then we have study feasibility, which is going to affect screening very quickly. I think that's a high. We can't give everything a high, because then they're gonna laugh at us, at the district needs. Definitely. Run, so we should kind of put in between, let me see what we have here. Resources and priorities, youth prevention programs, I mean, that's for us, it's.
That's like that's.
But the MAP program is a part of that, obviously, it's just a more formalized program. So. Here's a question, you guys want this as a high or a medium? Could be a high, have no fear.
Can you read out what the request is?
Utilizing existing resources, NYPD has prioritized youth crime prevention programs and strategy to mitigate crime in East Harlem. The city should not only bolster support for NYPD youth programs, but also allocate resources to community partners to engage at-risk youth.
I mean, the one thing is that the map caters to the developments and nice developments, and this would cater to the larger community.
That's why. So let's do a high too, and then the last one will be medium. Since it's broad. No, because it's more broad. You'll make it a little more.
This is also programming, we're programming in NYPD, right?
And she'll pick certain programs, but again, like. It's kind of the same as, just different.
Okay, I agree with the meeting.
Yeah, like you actually have 3 different youth requests in 3 different pots. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and it's more specific. I like.
We'll do medium.
I'm glad you like it.
Medium for.
The last one.
The last-
Last one,
Yeah.
okay, so high, medium.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Are we in agreement?
yeah, so
Everyone's good?
to ratify.
All right, let's move forward.
I want a formal motion.
Oh, is this everything we have to do?
This is all your.
Okay, so then let's do this vote.
So we did capital, we did expense, we're good.
All in favor of our capital requests and budget expenses as they are here and as you've seen them, as we work through them? Raise your hand.
With the exception of the one that,
Oh,
Michelle.
and Michelle will add some language as we specify.
The names of the
Youth programs.
Okay, so everyone raise your hand for it. Tell me.
So I have to abstain with respect to the NYPD items, but I'm generally support the other items.
No worries, no, we understand.
Just want to make sure that's clear.
So you're in favor of everything, but abstaining for the
For
NYPD.
conflict reasons, yeah. exactly.
Understood, so expense NYPD or capital NYPD?
Both,
Both? Okay, so we'll note that for the record.
I don't wanna go.
thank you, appreciate it.
We'll note that for the record, so.
The abstention or president not voting? I don't know.
It's
President not voting.
It's up to you how you would like. If
I
you
would
want-
abstain, it's better than.
I think I'll
You
stick with
would-
abstention.
I think you would rather abstain, okay.
Yeah, it's more purposeful than,
Yeah.
president on board is like when you're unsure.
Sure, sure.
And abstain is like, I can't take this vote.
Right,
because-
Like I would have,
This is-
vote, but I
Yes.
can't.
Yeah.
But this
exactly.
interacts with.
Would love to tell you my voting, but I can't.
Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know on the minutes, it'll state that you
Oh,
are
yeah.
abstaining especially specifically related to NYPD requests, capital and expense.
That's perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, so then we are done with this, we will move forward. All right, we did not get to break our record because it's already 7:30, but we're on it, we're on this. Was the harder part of it. Rafael's back, can he speak or no?
Raphael is back in, but I can't tell if he's able to speak. Raphael, can you unmute yourself and see if you're able to join in? You can hear us?
He doesn't want to join. All right, so let's go forward. What's our next, what's next on our list? Yeah, I have a fall, winter, so I got dry cough, but don't worry.
Okay, well, the Third Avenue,
So,
in this one.
as you all know, it's unfortunate that DOT took a very.
How you doing, guys?
Hey,
Hey, Raphael.
Well, we'll get you in a minute, Rafael. But
Okay.
as you all know, we were presented by this program, it's supposed to be the very beginning of it, they were in a planning presentation, in their actual presentation, it says that they are in a planning phase. And we thought they were coming to this committee, to this community in earnest to do some community engagement. But after very few conversations, they told us actually that design was set, so it really wasn't community engagement, it was more simply letting us know what's gonna happen. I was asking them all summer for a walkthrough so that we can talk it through. They refused. And then recently I had to go to Diana Ayala's office, who's our council person, and let them know of the situation with this program, and they were unaware of this $35 million program that affects both their district in East Harlem as well as their district in the South Bronx. There's this trafficking. I went with their I stole Elsie and we went over there, we drove over there. And within minutes, a Parks Department, 350 went up Third Avenue against traffic, and I'm like, this is what everyone does. Not 3 minutes of being there. Which is why our request was that to alleviate the traffic that's mitigated there. From 127 to 128 should be a two-way street, allowing people to use 127th Street, which would alleviate tremendously the traffic. This is done downtown. Downtown, if you go to Third Avenue, it's a two-way street, and then all of a sudden it becomes a one-way street. All right, so it's not like an unheard of situation. This was our request, as well as some other, but we were told that they could not do any of these requests. And now we had to snitch. And now they are Ayala's office, and hopefully we will continue to be engaged with them. They actually also like a lot of our recommendations. But I feel like since COVID started, I don't know if this mayor or if it's what it is, but I feel that a lot of city agencies are just doing whatever they feel like doing. To control my language, but it's just like, here it is and live with it. I mean, a lot of these plans and studies, that we never see these studies, but they have these kids that graduate college that do this planning in their little desk downtown somewhere, and it seems like a beautiful idea on paper, but they don't even come up here, they don't see the traffic involved, and it's impossible that they tell me that this is not putting a traffic light and varying one street until the other to make a turn is not going to cause more traffic there. It's just an impossibility. So we want that on the record. We're gonna continue. We may have to pay, things will be in progress now. But I mean, if it was up to me, we would just take a complete stand. Our position should be against this current project, the way it stands. And I think we'll give some time to see if something changes. But if not, it would be my recommendation for next month. We can do that. Because, I think it's disrespectful to the community to be just simply told that we're going to do community engagement, when in reality, it's not community engagement. It was for all that, then why even think was? And obviously, this is no reflection on Rafael, because we love Rafael, but the individual that actually held the presentation, I don't remember his name, but he was very condescending, very patronizing, very like, oh, this is pedestrians, and I'm like, well, this community has more than pedestrians. And that is the freeway of coming into Manhattan, and not
Yes.
paying the bridge. So the amount of traffic that's concentrated there in the morning or even in the afternoon is insane, cause I have a business here on 116 Second and Third, and I have a business in South Bronx right there on Brockton Boulevard, through Brooklyn. So I, kind of go back and forth throughout the day. It's always congested.
Yeah.
And we went this afternoon, 4 o'clock, and there was a backup of traffic at 4 o'clock, because the way it works now, there's one light here, FDR meets, and then there's another light right here on 127. So the most you get are 4 or 5 vehicles go in and they have to stop at the next light. So this is just transparency for our committee to know what's happening, what's going on. We're hoping that DOT does a better job of really having community engagement. Not simply just telling us what they're going to do because they think it's good and because of their studies. Whoever pays for the study usually gets the results that they want. But again, this is no reflection of Rafael, and we're happy to have Rafael here with us. How are you, Rafael? That's my
I'm very good. I'm glad to be here with you. Next time I will visit you. I will stay there just like you are. But let me ask you a question before you go and ask me questions. Are you saying that there was no community engagement at all?
That's correct.
With the committee in the past? We talking about pre-October 31st of last year, because that's when I came on board.
That is what we're saying, a plan, like you brought us, a presentation of what can be the possibility. That was the first time. Has it been mentioned to us? It's been mentioned to us. But there is a big difference between telling someone, hey, we're going to do someone on 3rd and 128. And there's a difference between that and actually presenting something. This is the first time it was presented before us as an actual plan.
Right.
So-
I understand. And because what I have heard in the office is that there was a presentation at the CB11 meeting, and apparently Angel knew about it, because it seems that, according to what I have heard, that the discussions were held with Angel. Has you and Angel talked about the fact that there might have been a conversation?
That's an error on the DOT as itself. Because Angel is our district manager. Angel does not take a position here. So they can have had a conversation with Angel, but there is no actual, unless you come to our committee, our full board, then DOT cannot have a conversation with Angel as a district manager and say, I spoke to the board. Speaking to the board is here. This is speaking to the board. So whoever is giving you information, regardless, we don't have to play that game because makes no point. But if that was what they thought engagement was, they were absolutely incorrect. Engagement is coming to this committee where that would fall under, DOT falls under the purview of this committee, and having the conversation here. Having a private conversation with Angel does not reflect having a conversation with the community. And Angel will be the first to say that. Angel's like, you have to go before the committee. There's nothing wrong that he's doing. They're talking to him about it, and he can have a conversation. But Angel will be the first to tell DOT to be like, whatever you're gonna do, you still have to go to the committee. The committee will approve or deny. That goes before the full board. The full board will have a discussion. We'll rectify there. That is the procedure and that has always been our procedure, which has been modeled after city council, which DOT should be very aware of. It troubles me that I have to explain this out, obviously. But I was in the council person's office and she was not aware of this either.
I
Or her
understand.
staff.
I understand you 100%, and I agree with you 100%. Remember, I was on the other side for many
Like we
years.
discussed, Rafael, we love
Okay.
you. It's just,
Okay, so in the process of me learning the process as well as this particular case, I understand and I tend to agree with you 100% of how things has been done. But since, the decisions are made beyond my pay rate, I'm unable to really advocate as I would have if I were on the other side. So this is what I have heard. I'm not telling you that it happened because I was not there, but in order for me to kind of mix one side being an advocate and another side being a bureaucrat, I tend to really understand what's happening and how you feel. And believe me, I understand you 100%. And in my advocate side, I will agree 100% with what you're saying. In my bureaucrat, I have to be kind of iffy on it, if I can say that. So this is what is happening. What the pedestrian unit is saying is that they had already engaged the community in this particular project, and they are hesitant to go and check the area just like you have suggested. I told them, just go right ahead and make the visit.
Yeah,
Are they scared of East Harlem?
I don't know. Why? Because they do these changes and they make these plans without even having the,
Actual on,
the decency or the, the common sense, because it's a common sense procedure when you're making a change that drastic to something that it's
Yeah.
already contested. And now so, again, that's why we're having this conversation where we're putting it all on the open. I don't think we have any questions for Rafael as a person, because again, most of these decisions are above him. Rafael's been with us just a few months.
Well, when I say the decision above me, I'm the link, and I will advocate on your
But
behalf.
the last time we spoke, you told me there was no advocating, it was a done deal, and their position
No,
was,
in term of
this is a done deal, which is why I had to go to the council person's office.
no, and you did the right thing. I was under the impression that she already knew.
Imagine
Listen,
that, $35 million program,
she doesn't know?
and she was like, we had
It's
no idea.
appalling, right?
It's a fault. Because
So,
it should go to her first, but that just goes to show you how DOT is
I
operating.
mean, so then that just
No,
says,
no, no.
Rafael, you have to go back to your team and tell your team that now you've gotten word that from the
Yeah.
community board that not even the council member knows about.
Oh, the council members all over.
No.
Commissioner, she called the commissioner, she went as high as you could go. She didn't find it.
What this is something that I have been very interested in resolving, in addition to other issue in your community. And the fact is that I'm just relating to you what I have heard them tell me. So it's something that I can tell you with 100% honesty that this is what they're telling me. Now, I have suggested to you in past conversation to write a letter indicating what you just said and write it to Edward Pinker, the commissioner, Manhattan
We're
commissioner.
gonna do, Rafael, we appreciate your response, but if we don't hear of any movement, I mean, the council person is already involved, so we'll hear something, but I think by next month, if we don't hear of anything, we will take a position against this program.
No, don't wait
Project
until
as
next
is.
month. Don't wait until next month, Jose. No, not at all. I'm not encouraging you to wait until next month. You start working tomorrow, not next month.
Oh, wait, so you want us to take a position on the project today?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I understand your frustration. I understand you tomorrow when I get to the, when
They already made the.
Rafael, also, do we have any update on 117th Street? Because cars are still parked in there, that's I got a million pictures, I'd rather not even send them. I know
Jose.
last time you told us that they were
Jose,
gonna put.
papi, papi, escucha, okay, if I can say that in
Nah.
Spanish.
Sorry, we're gonna hammer you today. but
That's
we
what
love
I,
you.
that's what I call my oldest son, papi, you know, he's 40 plus years old. So
Any updates?
but we finished the Third Avenue Bridge?
And we're gonna take a position on that tonight.
Absolutely.
And then, but 117th, you know.
Okay.
it's-
117, I sent you a picture of what they expecting to do. And what I have got today is that they have you seen those pre-concrete, precast concrete blocks that when you park on, it's
We had
kind
this
of about
conversation
6,
last meeting, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We had this conversation last meeting, you showed us the pictures, right?
right, you
Yes,
saw it?
Yes.
Yes,
we had
you
this whole
showed us the
conversation,
pictures.
Okay,
yes.
so instead of being, you saw it that it's the rubber, correct? The one I sent you.
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, that will not work because people will continue going over those things and park on the lane. I have suggested the Jersey barriers. Have you seen it in the highway? And you seen also separating
yeah.
bike lanes from the road
Minibus.
lane.
They have a minibus in there. I
Okay.
can show you how,
Yep.
even a minibus is parked in there.
He's just showing a picture of what's parked in the 100.
I gotta, like,
Yeah,
Also, yeah, for the record, guys, like this thing can't take up the
I know.
small things that you guys do.
We're showing a picture of vehicles parked there,
The
which
ground rules.
you can see every day. We're going against our own rules. But so we don't know when that's going to be done then, Rafael.
frankly, I do not know. I had to tell you because I am frustrated with the pet unit as to what they're going to place there. So those elements that I sent you a copy of, a picture of, they have been ordered. However, there is some problem with the purchasing process. They have to go to a contractor or a vendor who is affiliated with the MBWE. So that's what I get from them. It's been a year in my tenure already, and I don't like it, to tell you the truth. I know this is being recorded, but I don't like it. As representing you, as being a link, I'm uncomfortable to come to you and tell you just update that have no meaning at all. So I don't know what to tell you. But one thing that I had to tell you is contact me, call me. Where can we have a cup of tea over there, or coffee, or a beer, or a drink, whatever, invite me. I don't hear you.
Oh, this is Michelle talking,
Go ahead.
requesting, once again, for the record, lines drawn from 96 to 107 up Third Avenue.
Still not done?
No.
Oh, Rafael promised he was gonna have that done last one.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you very well.
The roadway lines to make it safe so that people aren't.
They repaved from 96 Third Avenue to about 112.
Exactly 107.
107, sorry. So they repaved it, they have not made the markings. We spoke about this last month and you said you had it, you got it, no problem.
What was that?
The lines, Third Avenue,
I'm in the right place.
the repavement from 96 to 107.
Which I'm glad it happened, but. still
Have they
we need the lines.
They have
haven't made
repaved
the
it already?
marking. They haven't made, they repaved, but they haven't put the markings.
Okay, that's 96 and 107?
Yeah, Third
96
Avenue,
Not between 96 and 107 on Third
Third
Avenue.
Avenue. The bus
they
stop.
repaved it recently. Actually, not so recent, it's been a month.
It's been a while.
or two. We spoke about this last.
And I did.
It was still hot.
It's been a while. I live directly there, so I know exactly.
And it's necessary, because you know, cars are.
They weave back and forth and it's dangerous.
There's also,
Okay. Rafael, thank you for receiving all our appreciation and difficulty at the same time.
No. Hey, I enjoy this.
Thank you.
Believe me.
We're gonna move. We're gonna
Jose,
move on.
let me just say something, Jose, to you.
Go ahead.
Let's have a conversation tomorrow to follow up on this meeting. Okay? Because I would like to have this resolved to your satisfaction. Okay? Remember, you
Those
know,
are
this,
bold words from DOT.
what was
I'm
that?
gonna represent DOT now. I think those are bold words from someone from
No,
DOT.
listen, DOT is the best thing. DOT is the best agency there is in the city of New York. No, no
Good, I like
disrespect to
that.
the other representative in this chat.
That's what you gotta say. All right, Rafael, we're gonna let you go. We gotta keep moving on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you guys heard, we had this presentation come before us in May, because June was canceled. In May, we were in that situation, we reached back, we circled around it. All summer, I tried to make them come out, they didn't want to come out. September, we spoke about it, so I think it's fair to take a position tonight. So, you know, do we need a motion?
I would like to make a motion that we disagree
Oh, no, that's
No,
not what you
that's-
can, that's not what the pushing.
That we are
that
against
against the
Third Avenue.
Third Avenue
and East 128th Street pedestrian bridge improvement project and its current
state.
state.
I second it,
Second,
yeah.
all right, and then we will take our,
Official vote.
we're gonna do a roll call because we're all together. We'll take a vote. All in favor of this motion, raise your hand. So we have a unanimous vote. And this will go to full board for new members so that you know, the work is done in the committee. We take a position, it's sent to full board. At full board, we will read it to the record, we will place it, and then we will take a position. Usually in this committee, since I became chair, we like to get information. At least wait the 30 days, which is our next meeting, and then take a position on that. Now, here we're way beyond, because we had this in May, so we waited months and months, but typically we like to do that here because it gives you time, especially as a new member, to kind of research it, feel comfortable with it, and then when you take a vote the next month, you feel certain, because I remember when I was a new member and they were just taking votes, and I was just. In most committees, what happens, and a lot of new members just kind of, they don't really even know what they're voting for, they just kind of go with the flow of whoever voted first, and they're like, yeah, me too. Or sometimes they, president voted the same, but anyway, that's what we do here, to make sure that everyone has the time, and not just us here, but the community as well, right? Because remember, this goes into the record, community has a chance to kind of process it, give input, and then the following month we'll take our position, unless, obviously, there are exemptions for, you know, certain situations where there's a deadline or something of that nature, right? But other than that, this is our procedure. All right, and let's move forward.
So we have received the notice of neighborhood loading zone expansions. They're gonna be considering the westerly side of Lexington Avenue from East 96th to 97th Street. And the southerly side of East 116th Street from Lexington to Third Avenue.
What does this mean? This is for their,
The neighborhood,
we need a walkthrough for this. We'd like to know where they're considering, not just giving them open, this is DOT, right?
so in the.
Hey, Rafael.
In the same letter that we had, that was in the email that I sent to you guys.
Let's see how.
That's why it was.
Update Department of Progress in response to local law 168 of 2021. As a reminder, this bill requires DOT to create a public methodology for determining where loading zones are necessary to enhance safety and reduce traffic congestion. Required to create at least 5 loading zones annually in each neighborhood. And you keep reading.
No, we know this, we did, I remember this, but
So
now,
here is exactly where
okay.
they're doing this.
What is a loading?
Loading zone is basically like 2 parking spots where a UPS and Amazon can go in, park, make deliveries, come back. It's that kind of parking, and it's usually from 9 to 5, so people can still park at night, I believe. That was kind of the situation, it's more of a daytime.
And then real quick, Raphael, just for procedural methods, it says here that we can put comments in the feedback portal and provide written feedback within 30 days, but we received this during the summer in July. We still make comments in the feedback portal, or is that closed?
Right. I sent, and let me, I sent this letter back in July,
Yes,
addressed to Angel.
yes.
And I have to apologize to you, Jose, because I should have sent you one as well. Okay,
Yeah, this should have been in our September meeting.
right, exactly.
Revisited.
Yeah, it's my bad. I should have sent that to you as well. I was on the impression that this would be shared amongst, executive people in the board, but moving forward, I will certainly be connected with you as far as this is concerned. But let me just make a distinction between commercial loading docks and the neighborhood loading zone. Just like Kelly mentioned earlier, the neighborhood loading zone is for UPS delivery and other delivery people that can park on those areas instead of parking double park, because that's the intention of DOT, to kind of alleviate the traffic congestion when those trucks and van park double park. So, but the commercial is the one that the commercial entity will request a loading dock there or a loading zone, just like many other stores that you see around with a loading zone area right in front of it. These two that this letter indicates, they are both commercial. The letter say community loading zone, but I mean, this is my definition, because there are stores right up front. They could be used as community loading zone as well, because other people can park there while they make deliveries. So that's the distinction that I want to make.
Go ahead, John.
Well, right now this is Michelle talking, right now there is active school that's right around the corner on 97th Street that has increased vehicle usage tremendously, as well as when people are starting to speed up, they are coming between 96 and 97, and that's where a lot of the accidents happen. And so if you have more or larger vehicles, as in trucks and whatnot that are gonna be there, it's not gonna be a pretty sight.
Is CVS store staying there already? Still?
Yeah, CVS is still there.
Right.
But I'm just saying that the traffic speeds up between 97 and 96, so that it's just because people are just so angry at that point. I don't see how this loading zone is gonna really help.
But it's been there for a while. The one on 3rd Avenue as well, it's been there since I made the research since 2014.
So just to clarify, it's only because we received a notice similar earlier with other locations, and I think we received 3 locations the last time, and 2 out of the 3 locations, they were already placed in areas that had truck loading zones only, so it wasn't impacting residential parking, it was
Right.
impacting mostly commercial. And maybe Raphael, that's what you mean this time as well, because the regulation as is right now is commercial vehicles only and truck loading only. Or is that correct, Raphael?
Yes,
Okay,
So them double
What-
parking and triple parking, making it into one lane is. Cause that's basically what happens a lot of the times with the
When they-
CVS truck.
when they double park, are you talking about the
And they
commercial?
block the bus lane. Isn't that
And
the
it's
bus
like,
lane?
yeah, I mean, this is what's been happening, so I'm thinking, oh, that maybe this is new, and they're gonna. But no, this is, you say this has already been there, and they're still doing that.
Maybe they're expanding it.
where is the bus lane? The bus lane, where is that,
On
that you
Lexington
referring to?
Avenue, it's on the west side and by the CVS, that's the whole bus lane. That's where the bus is supposed to be traveling. That's where the bus is.
Hmm, okay.
And Lexington Avenue is an issue for us, Rafael, because we have a lot of people that have some congestion from the bus depot. And right after the bus depot kind of opens up and now people start flying, which is why there's a lot of accidents on 96th Street on Lexington. And you see there's like a concentration of accidents there with pedestrians, but because people have the frustration as they're driving down all this traffic, because those
And they're
people
being
have
blocked
like
on the
buses
people
blocking
going to the west
everything.
side Or 97.
And then they're trying to make that light, and in their frustration, they tend to speed there, and we were
That's
trying
not
to
a
do a
The 96,
camera there to kind of control that.
96 going east?
No, this is Lexington moving south.
Wow.
I mean, there are
96,
lots of cameras, but it's just, people just don't care by that point.
The bus
are we-
stop is exactly on Lexington.
talking about
between
96th
96
Street?
and 96.
Okay, so on Lexington Avenue between 96 and 97, there is a bus lane, but there's also a parking lane.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that
That's what
parking
Loading
lane, that's what causes the traffic. So, so what's caused, is it that
If I
normal?
might, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think what this is trying to alleviate is when the CVS is trying to offload.
Mhm.
And there's cars parked from the corner up to, I think, there's a fire hydrant there.
Yeah.
So when there's cars parked there, and I've seen,
Yeah.
I've seen them trying to offload, so the truck is double parked.
Yeah.
Instead of being next to the curb.
Right,
And then you also have the hard cars. Okay, being banged by whatever she lets off.
Right, right.
What this is trying to do is make that specific to just.
correct. Commercial offloading, so
Exactly.
individuals that are parked there that are not commercial vehicles, so say from this Google image right here. This SUV, that red truck,
Right.
they would be getting fined because it would just be commercial offloading only during a set time.
Yes, because
So-
2 spaces would take it from the corner right to. I think
That
it's fire
building.
hydrant.
Mhm.
And
It's the same problem for the shop fair on Lexington between Third and Lex on 116. You know, what happens there is like double, sometimes people even transport, it's a mess because obviously they need to be able to load and there are vehicles parked there, so they need their trucks to be able to park there.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's pretty comprehensive. I mean, you guys know the neighborhood, you know that this is a necessity. I don't see.
see, that was incorrect, sorry.
Mhm.
The bus lane is only, or at least it starts from 96 going south.
Going
So
south.
from, yeah, so from 96 going downward, there is no bus lane for 96 between and 97. There's a CVS, there's a city MD,
Right,
there's a
Mhm.
cleaners. And it's the parking regulations right now, I can see it. Okay, so the parking regulations right now, it seems is your standard, no parking on some days and your commercial parking,
so it's needed parking,
right?
beyond the hydrant up to 97th.
Right, so they're trying to make in front of the CVS just commercial loading, so vehicles, just to be clear, I know members of the public can't see, so like that vehicle,
Yeah.
they would get tickets for being there.
Gotcha.
These guys would be, well, COVID-19 testing, that's a special permit that you're gonna get. But yes, anything aside from that, they would be getting tickets for that location.
Gotcha.
Outside of I mean, if it's within the.
Time frame.
Right, correct. So that's
in this year, I just wanted to add that because the school opened on 97th Street, there has been an influx of cars. And they stop and they're letting the kids out, and some of them are hanging out, waiting for their kids. And that has increased traffic a whole lot. And they are gonna be waiting right, but they're waiting usually on the CVS side, right by that space,
Mhm.
because they don't want the kids to cross the street.
But they won't go to the street, or they don't want to turn into the block. Or
On 97th Street, because that's just insane.
All right,
Okay,
Let's
and the
go forward,
next,
then.
sorry, the next one is.
So let me
East
ask
we're
Coast.
now at 8 o'clock. It was, and we can no longer call it a short meeting, hour and a half now.
Jose,
Oh, we're good to go. Rafael?
just a question regarding that location, that Lexington and 96. And
It's pretty
97.
straightforward.
You have question on that? Do you have? is
No, we
that
don't.
okay?
The committee is aware that it's a necessity there.
Right.
Otherwise, what happens is the trucks take a full lane of traffic and only one lane goes through. And Lexington becomes something more of a parking lot than a street. Because between that, the bus depot,
use for the buses.
yeah, the bus depot is also a big cause of those issues. Okay, so
How about the 116th Street and
Yeah.
Avenue? Do you have any?
do they need a
problem with it?
position on this, or it's just being done and they're letting us, I think they're letting us know.
Raphael, so
No,
if
no,
we
no, no,
have-
no. It has not been done. Wait.
No,
You
no,
could
that's what I'm
still,
saying.
you could still provide DOT with your comments.
Okay,
And you could tell me.
Could you hear me?
Yes.
Where can it be done on 96th and 95th? Because you have
That's Carlo.
this is
Sounds like
Carlos.
Charlie.
school on one side. And then you have,
Charlie. I don't see you, bro. You're not raising your hand, but I love you. It's all right.
I'm sorry, Papa.
It's in front of they want it in front of the CVS, Charlie. The CVS is between 97 and 96.
Right.
That's why. So the CVS is at the corner of Lex and 97. And
Right.
that's where they want to put the commercial vehicles so they can have, their loading there. Because right now, it's just straight parking.
But they could have it, they could have it further up, just like
Why?
And
because
again,
the
we go
the
to the,
supermarket is right there.
The CVS, they want it in front of the CVS.
Yeah, but I was just saying that they don't have that in front of the CVS, they could have it in front of the supermarket.
but
for the sake.
these neighborhood loading zones, Raphael, can you
Time out,
clarify
time out.
their?
Time out. For the sake of clarity, the commercial loading docks or loading zones are requested by the commercial entity.
I think
The
we're mixing two
neighborhood
things up.
loading zones is DOT's initiative.
These are two different things. This is a request.
Right.
So Rafael, this is the request from CVS and Shop Fair. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah, that's what this is.
but what
They're
what
requesting this
this
to
letter is
DOT.
saying, what this letter is saying that this can be also be interpreted as neighborhood
Yeah.
loading zones.
And to do it as a mixture of the two.
Exactly.
I'm all for it. That means that we take less parking spot from the neighborhood so we can do that.
Right. But one thing that I have to make clear is that DOT is going forward to
So
get
add.
other spaces. Okay.
I'm
With
sure that
your-
you'll let us
with your
know beforehand,
suggestion.
right?
With your suggestion,
Thank you. That's what we
Okay.
want.
because every time it comes to me, I will discuss it with you. You will have a say on this from the get-go.
Thank you.
Understood. Thank you, Raphael. So if anything, we'll use the feedback portal. I'll get the link from you. And if the committee has anything they want me to specifically put in there, I'll mention that, okay?
Okay, but
We should take a
don't-
position
hey,
on this.
Jose,
That was
don't
from July.
forget about me.
Never, ever.
We
Thank you,
done?
Rafael.
Okay, good night.
So, honestly, these are where the exemptions fall into place, right? So this letter was sent to us from July, it should have been in our September minutes, we should have voted on today. But seeing as that they're going to move forward rather quickly, it is always better for the community board to take a position than to have a lack of a position. So then, seeing as everyone in the committee has seen it, it's pretty much in agreement with this situation. And even more so that they're going to be multi-use, not just for the commercial, they're gonna have also use for their neighborhood plan, because every year they're going to be taking parking spots from us to do this loading area things. There's one on 105, there's quite a few already around here. So I think we should have a motion on this. Who would like to have a motion? Oh? Of what?
Taking away what part of the.
I don't.
If we're not comfortable, then we don't take, then you can take a motion against it. Or we can take no motion. But if we take no motion, it's just gonna go through. We wanna be clear and we can have a discussion now, that's really what we're having here. You know, we had a discussion about where the CVS is, we know where the shop fair is, it's on the south side of 116. So you can either have them, and Rafael, being Rafael is going to mix this up with, it's going to work towards what they're going to do. So can you go up on the letter, I believe, just so everyone knows? Their initiative will take parking from us every year, there will be mandate. Every year there will be 500 zones, in our community, there will be 5. And really, their 5 means 2 parking spots, so that's 10 parking spots per year. That we will start. So what they're doing is they're using these 2 requests. And they're mixing in with that, they're gonna mix it in with their 5, so it would be 3 more that they would have.
Actually, they came to us earlier this year with 3.
With 3, so these are the next 2.
Yes, this becomes 5.
So then that's 5 for the year.
Yes.
So, just so that the committee knows, right?
Wait, and my understanding is how many is it throughout? No, but throughout
5 a year.
5 a year, every year, they're
Every
gonna
year.
come to us and try to ask for 5 more.
Yeah.
And we are not advisory on this, we are actually,
We can advise as to the location of where we push back on certain locations. We push them to certain locations that are more meaningful. But it is a state initiative and they're going to,
so the 3 other spots that they requested, we,
that already went through.
correct, when we said yes, we said good, we let them
No,
do
there
it.
was no contest.
There's no contest in it. It's a matter of us guiding. They tell us these are the spots and then we go to, we see it, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense. Those 3
Makes sense.
makes sense. At the end of the day, we will have 5, no matter what. So we can't fight the 5. What we can do is kind of guide where the 5 will go.
Personally, I don't feel comfortable because I wanna take a walk and like look at what I'm looking at. I see that we got pictures and everything, but I don't have a good sense as to what
It makes sense.
we're saying yes to.
We may, I don't know when they're going to start doing this. But it's kind of our fault at this point.
It doesn't have a date for when this would be implemented for these locations. It just only asks that.
That's feedback within 30
Feedback
days,
within
but this
30
was sent to us in July. Feedback would have been in August, not really, because we're not in session, would have been September.
Yes.
But we didn't do it in September, so now we're October, so now we're technically over their birthday.
And it's still the same thing, it's like 9 to 5, no parking, people, when they get to load.
And night,
After 5 o'clock,
night
this is open to.
open to overnight parking. Mind you, where we're talking about is not residential parking, it's meter parking. So you wouldn't be losing community parking.
Yeah,
Both of these spots are already metered parking. The Lexington as well as the 116 are metered, so we're not losing like parking that residents are taking for
It's
their
not
vehicle.
taking away everyday parking.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this is metered parking, but I think that could put everyone more at ease because it's not something, you couldn't leave your car there if you want. I mean, unless you pay that $3.75 every 2 hours, and if you forget, then it's $45.
Right
It's
across from Lexington.
So you're opting to take a position or you're opting to?
I think, and I'm gonna suggest that we take a position just because regardless of the fact, it's our fault that we're late, however it happens. So, I mean, but it goes to the committee, but we should take a position because we received notice we're supposed to give notice back and we don't meet July, August, which is fine, but September should have been on our agenda. And it was just a mess up on ours. And if we don't take a position, then they're just gonna move forward and do it. Because remember, they do have 2 more spots. They're actually being nice to us and kind of mixing those requests with the 2 spots, I think. The reality.
How to propose a motion in support, motion in support of DOT's proposed community loading zones. On Lexington and East 96th Street and on East 116th Street.
Do we have a second?
Can I be a vote?
Usually questions are before, but since we're new, we're gonna allow it. Just go ahead.
But that's much.
Hold on.
Enough about the one from the shop there.
The 116.
116.
It's my block.
I am very. I am very.
Again, it's metered parking, 116 between Third and Lexington is all metered parking. Honestly, all of 116 is now metered parking up to Second Avenue. It is completely residential. This is where the ShopRite is on the south side, and it is a supermarket. Then we have T-Mobile, we have the Cuchifrito, Banco Popular, a couple little things, Burger King. So that whole area is
My hair is
super commercial, and it's already metered parking.
Yeah.
So wouldn't be taking any,
I don't disagree with that.
that is the
No,
actual.
because there's so many.
Yeah,
This is just CVS.
So now we have a motion, we have a second, and we take a vote. So all in, remember, we're gonna do all in favor, against, you can present not voting, and you can abstain. Present not voting typically means you're unsure of it, abstain is more of a, but you can actually do both ways, but abstain is kind of more like for reasons or you have a conflict, but they mean the same thing. Present not voting, abstain, and no, it still counts as a no, just so that everyone is. Alright, so we're gonna take a vote, we'll do our hands, all in favor, put your hands. Got 1, 2, 3, all against,
Well, I'm not against it.
okay,
If I say I'm not sure.
then that's present not voting. We have Michelle.
I am against it for 96, between 96 and 97,
Uh-huh,
for CVS having their own parking space.
uh-huh.
But for 160s where there are many commercial.
So are we gonna separate the request?
No, he just said no.
Yeah.
That's all they want.
So if you want.
You can explain it out.
You must explain here.
I understand. But you have to remember that the request is, what DOT is doing is they're giving them the loading zone, but they're mixing in as their request so that on and all these other things can also park. So it won't be, you have to understand, it just won't be for C, it's not gonna say CVS. It'll be for Amazon, UPS, FedEx, anyone else
It's like a universal.
can also do that. That's the whole point of it.
No, I.
So it's not
I
giving
understand.
just them.
However, I have seen.
I know you're on that block.
Loading zones and the same individuals that are supposed to be using that. A block up.
Usually we do all this prior to the vote. Michelle's not new, but since we're doing this as a learning, that all of you can like, you know what I mean, like basically, next president not voting, and that's when you would, if you don't feel comfortable, you would raise your hand, president not voting. Raise your hand. Okay, there you go.
So you're present not voting?
Yes.
Loretta? Okay, so.
And then that is all our vote, and according to one of the
Six
67, then
yes,
it
1
passes.
no.
I don't know why you count.
Are the other three loading zones already?
They're already.
They're already there.
They're done, they're doing, oh, I want.
Look, we have to realize that this is gonna get done. They're doing us a favor by mixing it in to something that makes sense in a request. You know, honestly, because he could have done these 2 and then added 2 more. They don't have to be intermixed, it just makes sense. But we kind of have to appreciate that, because that way they take less. I'm not all in favor of this whole adding, you know, taking from the community every year 10 spots. But it is kind of a city mandate, so we do the best that we can with what we have. All right, what's next?
The local law 39 of 2023 for this, the penalty schedule. That would require. That would create requirements for the sale, lease and rents tolls, rentals of powered bicycles, powered mobility devices, and storage batteries for such devices. I provided the local law language in the same email that I sent you all as well. That had already been reviewed and was passed into law, so now DCWP is just going to be reviewing the penalty schedules. So I know, Jose, you said that you want to, think of me to review this. No, or something like that.
We don't have the penalty schedule yet, though, right?
No, the DCWP will be,
Giving it to us.
they'll be working on it.
All right, so
yeah.
then hopefully by next month we'll have it, and then we can take
Then we should
position
on it.
how we see what the penalty schedule is, because right now it's hard to
Okay,
take a
so,
position without that schedule. But this is something that we've been asking for from the city for some time. These e-bikes and different mobility devices can be dangerous to pedestrians, more dangerous in the car. If people are used to seeing a car, it's very different seeing like when they bikes or, and I have some e-scooters or all these. You know, we had a fatality on Pleasant on 119 a few years back with an e-bike. An elderly person stepped out. These bikes are not doing, they're not, 10, 20, they're doing 30, 40 miles an hour. I mean, they're passing cars. So they're, when these bikes hit you, it does not have insurance. It does not have, it's basically, you're on your own, or if the person happens to say, and there's police, you can maybe take litigation against them personally. But, there's also the situation, a lot of the people using this, some of them are delivery, undocumented and this, so you can have serious injuries and have no recourse for insurance or anything else. It's a very dangerous situation. We're happy the city and the state are taking steps to mitigate it. We're looking forward to dealing with this next month when we have the penalty schedule.
Well, actually, on that point, I don't want to prolong the conversation too much, but I'm looking at the text of the local law. I think the very last page, page 3 and 4, is that the penalty schedule? I'll just read it for our benefit. It says, person who violates subsection A, B, or C of this section or any rule promulgated thereunder is liable for a civil penalty as follows. For the first violation, a civil penalty of $0. Subsection 2, for each subsequent violation issued for the same offense on a different day within 2 years of the date of the first violation, the civil penalty is not more than $1,000. And finally, failure to comply with subsection A, B, or C of this section, respect anyone stock keeping unit constitutes a separate violation. So is that the penalty schedule that we're thinking about?
That's exactly it.
it sounds like it, but, and not to cut you off, because that document, I'm not gonna say is directly from Department of
Got it.
Consumer Worker Protections.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing, that DCWP, I don't know if they wanted to review that penalty schedule and then provide us a new one. For our district budget consultation that we not constituted, our district service cabinet meeting that we just had earlier this week. Our DCWP rep brought this up to us, that they're gonna be reviewing or proposing a penalty schedule. So the information from this document that I provided with you all.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be, I'm not sure. I don't know what they're gonna
It may
provide.
not
us
be-
with later.
okay.
Right. It could end up being the same thing. Or it could be something different.
Got it. Okay.
So is this? This is not law yet, this is going
It
to
is,
be,
it is law.
it is.
It
law.
is law. It's already been enacted by the mayor.
Gotcha. So
And
if- So if there is law, wouldn't, what that states already, I guess never mind, we'll wait till.
We'll wait to find out, right?
Yeah.
Because if you click in the same link that I provided in an email too, it gives you the history of where it went through to the council and then being passed into law by the mayor. But it's not specific about DCWP's penalty interjections, I guess. So that's what I guess we'll be waiting for. And once that rep, her name is Ravina, once she gives us further information, then we'll provide that to the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to move on, Jose?
Oh, our public safety conference is going on very well. We have a date now, and it's December 1st. We would like all of your help. The focus of this public safety conference will be youth violence, youth prevention. We have next commissioner who is in the youth strategy, O'Connor, who is basically an encyclopedia, knows who's who from which different, like Man knows everything pretty much. He was in that position for a very long time. We're happy that he'll be able to join us. Thankfully, Kyoka helped us to get him, even though he's retired. We're not gonna let him stop working, and he was very happy. And he will be very straightforward. We will trust him. He will have a presentation. We will also have programs there that help at-risk youth. So because a lot of times we hear we have a lot of things here that I think community itself isn't always aware of. We don't have anything, but there are quite a few programs, ACEs, concrete safaris for like younger kids and, getting them involved in other things. Because really that's the case, right? Like once they're in it, we try to help them, but you can avoid them even getting into that. It's even better. And a lot of that is just keeping them busy. And as you know, and as I've said before, a lot of these what NYPD considers gangs, right? They don't consider them in NYCHA, they don't consider them in Carver, they consider them East River, right? It's for Army. They're not considered a gang, and the older individuals in these gangs use the youth because they know the laws and they know how it protects them, and they use them to create this violence, and they push it to make a name for themselves and to, kind of make this aura legend about them being this way. But obviously what it is really, taking our youth and leading them the wrong way and taking advantage of them. And they don't always see that. Really. So we're going to make them aware. We're going to have a lot of, it's comprehensive, but the most important thing will be getting the community there. We'd like to have someone there from every single different night show. We're going to be working diligently to make sure everyone's there. The 2-3 will be there, 2-5 will be there, PSA 5. We're going to talk to Diana Ayala's office. We're going to have Eddie Gibbs. We're going to kind of bring this in because obviously youth violence is our #1 public safety issue. Every time, most of the time there's a shooting, 95% of the times, there's a youth involved.
We haven't reached out as yet to all the different.
We just got the date.
We just got the date.
No.
That was the hardest part. The hardest part is getting the main speaker, the concrete, the date.
So we're looking for people, to contact, the different houses.
We got it in the record that you said that's what.
Didn't even know it.
I mean, I don't have it. Yeah, I'm always here, but I'm just trying to get because again, newbie to the committee. Like what are we planning to get out of this? Because a lot of the times we have these things, these events, right?
This
And
is
there's
the
no
first one for
follow up.
us.
No, but I'm just saying in community wise, that's why it kind of I'm gonna leave that, but what I'm saying is, they get excited, they come to this big event, they get this information. You understand what I'm saying? Not everybody is gonna follow through. So what are the steps that are going to be put in place so that we can do follow through with them? Just to say okay, you might not have liked this that was there. Okay, we have other programs
That's why we're gonna mix it, not just the speaker. We're gonna have these programs there present. That's our goal at least.
So I had already contacted Concrete Safari today,
Okay.
because the person, and she came
Matt.
to
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mac Levine and
Matt, yeah, Matt.
No, Mark
No,
Levine is
not
the
Mark.
president.
Mac.
Matt, that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. And I really liked her presentation last year when she and Heavenly Evangelista came and really showed us directly how gun crime went up right after this, unfortunately, the schools ended at the end of the day. And that was just oh my gosh. I mean, something so simple as having an after-school program, having something where you're the children that are dropped out for ACEs and helping them on a long-term basis, go into the courts if need be, go in and do that extra help. So having those two programs, and then there's also food spike That has been very instrumental throughout decades, helping kids find something else to do that's productive, that will lead them not just afterwards, but help them with college, help them with what they need help with.
Gotcha. There's also a program, the CUNY Fatherhood Program. They deal specifically with just single dads and helping them further their education.
Thank you.
We will definitely connect on that because that's like my baby as well, like the
That's
youth
great.
and.
And that's what we want. We want participation from the committee. We reach out participate to the whole board. We're gonna present this at full board. So that people can, now that we have a date, you know, tricky was getting our speaker, getting a date.
Where we
And
have-
we're going to have it at Hunter College 119, like neutral
Oh,
grounds for everyone, so everyone feels
That's
comfortable.
dope.
Huh?
I said, that's really dope. They might could even do like a little.
That means
circle
everyone
around
can join us without having any situation, right? Because we had other venues that we could have used, but they were close to one or close to the other.
I get it.
We found this to be our most neutral grounds.
Yeah.
But look, it's gonna be a work. This is our first year. We plan to hopefully have it consecutively and make sure that the community knows the resources that it has.
Wait, do we have a time to, that was early days.
About 11 to 3, we plan to start.
No worries, yeah, no worries.
Oh, wait, I
Tell them, that's any volunteers.
I got this. It's from 9:30
Oh, yeah,
to a
yeah, set
hard
up and clean up.
3:30. The actual event is happening between 11 and 2:40.
Why 9:30?
Clean up.
9:30 setup.
Thank you both.
You'll be there 9:30.
Wow.
I don't know what we're setting up. Look, we're gonna work out some things. I don't know if we're planning on having food, but we may not be able to have food because they have restrictions on food and beverages. Maybe, I know water is for sure, because they have water. The hunter themselves, when we go there, they always have a note. I don't know.
But there's food, we've gone to plenty of events there where they have food, but it's like.
I
definitely
definitely asked for food, that was definitely.
I know, but we're supposed to hear back to see, because I know in their main hall. It's always there's a sign everywhere, no food, no, you know what I mean, like, so we have to also be respectful.
You
of our-
can't eat in the auditorium. When you put upstairs in the auditorium, you can't eat in the auditorium, you can definitely eat outside of the auditorium,
Like
because
hallway,
the
yeah.
students eat there. And when you do it downstairs, I know it's fat, but I eat there, when you do it downstairs, I go to every event and I eat there, when you go downstairs, you have to eat outside of the thing and not in.
Alright,
No, and they have food inside downstairs, last meeting, so,
We're just gonna,
but it has to be like finger food, not like.
Yeah.
we'll figure that out, like pizza, pizza is easy.
Pizza, sandwiches.
And we have some,
We have
some money.
people happy.
No, I'm happy to have food.
So-
I would, food and, some water and soda, whatever it is, keep people animated, because it'll be. But for the public, it'll be an 11, he would probably start speaking 11:30. His speech would be about an hour, 12:30, and then we can. We'll have obviously our electeds, and then after that, we'll have programming, the programs. The PSA 5, obviously, and the other precincts as well. And we're gonna kind of fuse things and see what works, what didn't work, so that way for the next year, we can follow up. We can take attendance, we can tell them the community board is here to try to make these connections. I do think there's a lot of, and I hear it all the time, there's no program, I'm like, so that's not true. Because at the community board, I hear a whole bunch of programs. And then we wanna connect those people that are unaware of that programming with the ones running the program.
It's a lot of overlapping programs too.
This is Friday, right? Friday.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
Yeah, we wish for a Friday because obviously we were going for the weekend before Thanksgiving, but then a lot of people leave for Thanksgiving. So we waited after
So we're
Thanksgiving.
not expecting youth to be there.
We can have youth there, but it's a
Between
Friday,
those
so
hours,
most likely
then,
they shouldn't
yeah.
be there, but.
If you come, then it would be considered community service. A lot of schools have community service part of their curriculum now. And so if they say, well, this is my community service, going to this and listening to this, then they would be able to come.
So are we also reaching out to the schools and letting the schools know that we have?
Absolutely.
That's good.
At least the ones here.
And also the New York Public Library, they have said that they would advertise for it.
Right.
And we have our social media. That's the 11th. Yes, no,
December what? December the 1st.
And our work weekend 19th.
Okay.
All right, I love that resource.
And so I did have a question though.
No. Fine.
To, Silicon Harlem is a project that,
They do.
they do a lot of things. And I'm,
Late third, come on.
I'm trying, my brain is not so great right now, I'm tired. They do a lot of things, and I wanted to know if they would be a good group to ask to also be, part of the uplift of helping kids out of
I
what they
think
could
the
do
more the
to what they
merrier.
should do.
That's what I feel. I feel you gotta give it a shot to
Okay.
say it doesn't work, you know?
Yeah, they do digital work.
Oh, yes.
They do broadband digital work. They actually
Ah.
do free broadband services for one of the developments, I think it's Jefferson.
That's the guy who comes with their own broadband or something?
I know Silicon Harlem does their own broadband.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
No,
know
it's
we're.
fine.
Okay, I know.
Well, no, I can tell you, we're having a conversation, this is like kind of brainstorming, this is something that I want the committee to like, engage and be a part of.
There's also, a program, well,
No, and we can touch on all of
So we
this.
can touch on this after, I wanted to have that
Space.
enthusiasm.
No,
Yeah.
please, don't be sorry, we're happy
It's a
for
good
all of
thing.
the ideas. Because this is something new, this has never done before, so whatever ideas we have, please feel free to join up to shout them. That's the whole point of this, because this is coming soon. We have 2 months.
we got hood code, they do coding. He teaches hood coding, like I have on that I have barbers who do barbering and school, hood code. They've been in my development for the last 6 years, giving
Which
coding.
development is that, by the way?
I'm in Washington Houses. So
Say that, Shawty.
Right the other.
Yeah.
but either way, yeah, we could invite Jason. You also have, I don't wanna take up too much time, but I'm gonna put a list
Please.
together. And then I'm gonna send it to you and we gonna make it happen.
Beautiful.
I mean, the thing is to have
We're
the
gonna-
foundation
we're gonna
and then
have-
to have, and then transition into hope.
Gonna have a awesome.
We're gonna have like a working document. Like an Excel sheet,
great.
you can create one and share it, that way we can,
On our
all of us have
document,
access,
on
we
our
can
document.
we can add all the programs that each of us know, and that way. We're not overlapping, everyone will see the same thing, I think that's the best way we can work.
And that'll be good to give out to the community too.
At the end of that, we
what's
can-
missing. Like,
This
we
is
could
the
look
program. right?
Board,
As they're leaving, in case you didn't hear it, this is a sheet with all the programs, we can print it out, we got plenty of print paper here, right?
Maybe that'd be a good swag if we
Yeah.
could get it. Just give
We
it
can do
out.
something online too, like a QR code, that'd be nice too.
Mhm.
All right.
Have a little-
That's what the kids.
I'll create this document.
But you gotta remember, Grammys are gonna be there.
I know, but I was like,
You have to have that
right?
something for everybody. Gotcha.
Alright, we're excited, this is good, I like it, I like the excitement.
Yes, I am.
Alright, so we've done this, I think that we don't have any
That's it.
business. Alright,
Is it new business or?
Well,
Oh, any new business?
I have a complaint though, I really do, it
What's
truly
the
truly is a real complaint, I was just telling Michelle about this morning. So ever since COVID, I live on 112th Street in Lexington, ever since COVID. The cars that are parked there, when when sanitation comes to clean, they drive into the sidewalk. Let sanitation clean, and then they drive back into their parking space. Right?
Yeah, I see him on my way to work.
Yes, and I'm like,
$9.
they're gonna end up hitting somebody, and that's when something's gonna happen, 'cause I complained to the 23rd. I complained to PSA 5, and they're like, that's not my problem, I've complained to anyone, and nothing has happened.
That's a 2-3.
And they started doing it again, no, I'm lying, this morning when I was talking, and it wasn't this morning, it was this afternoon, I'm talking to Michelle.
Mhm.
One of the guys who always does this, literally just drove, Johnson Center's right there, literally just drove and then drove out. Like, I'm annoyed, I'm a pedestrian, I don't drive, I hate that they're taking your parking, I'm totally with it. But I walk here and I have no place to walk, because now the bikes are here, now the cars are here, and it's like. What's up? And
Well, we're talking about.
maybe I should have told outside, right? I don't know.
He's not, he does, CLT does no enforcement, that is a 2-3.
Yeah.
So we
But what
will,
is, but isn't sanitation, couldn't sanitation, like, obviously, you see this happening, shouldn't you be like,
well,
ticketing
typically,
them, like, ticket person, come behind me and take it?
well, that's what.
No, but that's law
They did
enforcement.
before, but it's still traffic, that would be traffic for doing that before or after. But it's not sanitation themselves.
Gotcha,
Sanitation gives commercial buildings tickets, I don't think they are.
gotcha, but like,
Have the
couldn't they,
authority over.
couldn't they, couldn't they work together and like?
Typically they do, they love, one of them goes in front and they live that crazy sticker that you can't take off.
Yeah.
And they give you a ticket and they put that sticker that takes you like 3 days.
Looking like Popeye when you finish.
So we can storm the 2-3 and see, you know, again, like, given. Yeah, sure.
I have a legitimate complaint, I'm sorry,
No.
but on 97th Street, the mosque. Wednesday, Thursdays, when they go in for that prayer, the 2-3 gave them permission to double and triple park. So now the problem is, you have people who are originally parked and they're 2 cars in now. And they're honking their horns, trying to get out, not to mention they do block, the trucks from doing the deliveries or whatever, even to the development. The, trucks on the development can't get off of it, like, it's a really big problem.
I'm gonna tell you now. It's a religious,
I get it, but they have to make
people
some
then
type
shouldn't
of.
park in there, like Friday, know that Friday you should park there.
They're not,
I'm gonna tell you the
But
truth,
these are people who
I
live there,
understand,
and
but
they
the
still
truth,
park it,
I'm
like,
telling you that what.
some give way, some leeway.
I understand, but it's a religious and for a religious story there, because the flip side to that is that they'll take that parking. Because most churches or mosques take the parking, and they'll put a no parking zone there, and then you just lose it,
Right.
right? That's the flip side to it, right? So.
Oh, they can put a clergy park?
Oh, yeah, they can, the mosque can do that.
Not clergy.
Not clergy, but
But what is like religious something?
most churches have a no parking.
No parking.
But it's on
And-
the other side of the street, not ours, not the opposite.
Oh, they're doing it on the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
No, I know, it's pretty hard.
There.
That is one of the biggest mosques.
I just want.
It's one of the biggest mosques.
I be careful, cause my park
They
on the
never
inside.
changed that.
Definitely in our
Yeah,
area.
like, you know,
you guys every day.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, for sure. No, I know, it's just,
You're not gonna
when it
change
comes to
that.
religious, it gets very complex.
I mean, you could
I
ask.
just wanna be honest, I'm not
them
gonna,
to
like,
have
there's
the
certain
cars
things
on
that we
the
can
other
do.
side of the street, but they were probably told that you could park
Cause that
on
side
the
is.
side that they're
clear.
on right now.
They come on this
I
side.
never parked on that side too, so.
Yeah.
Not
Fridays-
usually, they have
Fridays
it
is-
for. Not all.
A lot of my drivers go to that mosque.
Not only that too, you have the parts, the people who do the ticketing, they'll come, they supposed to get tickets, they parking too, to run and go. park.
I have seen
And I get
that every,
Yeah, they won't give a ticket because of the.
but they want to change it, I know.
And things are sensitive right now with.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I get it, but it's.
I can have a conversation, I just don't want, I'd like to be real, I'm gonna be straight up. Like, there are certain things that may take a little longer to reach a certain accord. I don't want you to think that we're walking and we'll get a solution, because it is a very complex.
Maybe there could be a community conversation.
What's that?
I actually. have- Now, there are also part of Lakeview, Tennessee,
107 or what?
107 between Madison and Fifth.
Yeah.
Now, LabCorp has a facility. And then we have those, it's in regard to the mayor's office. It was good for a while, now they're back to what it got. They double parked their vehicles. They was given spaces on Fifth Avenue. So, and they was guaranteed that they wouldn't, accumulate any tickets. Yeah, way back to the same thing that, first of all, 107 is this wide, you got parking on both sides. They have a couple of spaces that are still owned by, Mount Sinai. But other than that, they come in and it's not like they're, running in and dropping off, because I've seen them. As part of, like I said, making sense rotation, conversation we've had with the building management, the DOT, and LabCorp.
So these are LabCorp.
Yeah. Commercial vehicles, and I mean, they don't park, and they sit there for a while.
A double park just blocks the whole street, there's no such thing as double
And,
park.
and
They block
it's
it.
kind of the point where we've actually had ambulances that try to get through fire trucks. If you have a resident in Lakeview who suffered because the ambulance couldn't get through. So, and the space, like I said, again, I'm just, just giving a heads up, I'm still doing my research. Every chance I get, I'm taking the forms, what have you. Still waiting, management is supposed to have a meeting with management at LabCorp.
I mean, LabCorp is not a city agency,
No.
so that would be something that we could.
It's a 5 days, what they did was. So, whatever the least portion. Of the property. Even
Mr.
if
Brown,
access
can you
to
speak
one
up? Can you speak up? The mic can't pick you up, by the way. It's, yeah, you gotta speak up if you can.
They even been given access to the grounds. On 106, which is a much wider street.
Yeah.
They don't wanna walk. That's what it comes down to. Or if they pull up, like I said, and I've seen them get out the vehicle, double park. Instead of parking on Fifth Avenue, walking back into the block, and having a conversation, stand, chit chat.
Okay, that's something we can bring
That's
up.
something.
She got a holding cell.
We can, I mean, the first step would be speaking directly to LabCorp. And then afterwards would be speaking with enforcement and. I mean, NYPD loves giving tickets, so.
Yeah, and it got to the point where they was planning.
Except the NYPD itself.
To tow the car, like, they were good for a while, but.
No problem, we're gonna we'll move on it. All right,
All right,
They can do the
New business.
I'm sorry.
roll call.
Carlos has his hand raised.
No, that's fine.
What's up, Charlie?
How are you guys?
We miss you here.
Yeah, I was at a Metropolitan Advisory Board meeting, that's why.
I know you were at the cab. We were talking about it at the beginning.
does that mean every Thursday? On this
No,
time?
no, it's because I had some election going on that date and they moved it, but usually it's on the Tuesday.
No.
Cool, okay.
Gotcha.
All right, Charlie, so we'll see you here next month. I
Uh,
like that pillow.
looking forward to it.
All right, so then let's do a roll call. We'll call it a night.
Jose Altamirano,
Present.
Stephanie,
Here.
Anthony,
President,
Kenneth.
Here.
Well, how is your excuse? Technically, Wanda?
No, I'm here.
Well, you're virtual, so you're technically
Not
excused. Yeah, you're technically not here, but we see you, Carlos. Wanda, I called you. Sage
Yes,
is also
here.
excused. Claudia,
Here.
Don is also excused. Loretta
Yeah,
and Michelle.
I'm here.
There you go.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned. Here. Have a good night. We did not beat our record, 2 hours, 10 minutes. It's okay. We got a lot of work done.
Go to the next one.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, and it's a pleasure to be here. I look forward to working with everyone.
Teresa Richard, head president.
Thank you.
My girl. Hey, Teresa.